My peoples, welcome to Rants and Randomness. I'm Luvvie Ajayi, and this is my podcast where I'm talking about the things I'm loving, things I am giving side-eye to, and having great conversation with people who I think are dope. I'm here at the Chicago Recording Company, bring y'all the radio voice as always. And on this episode, I'm feeling good about the love I got from the last episode I did with Yvette Noel Shore. I am ranting about men who don't know that they take up too much space, and spotlighting the love letter and Jesus Angelov, which is back. Showing y'all some love with some spotlights, and interviewing the incredible Karleen Roy of the Vanity Group. So let's jump into it. It's going to be a good show. So I'm feeling good about all the love that the last episode that I did has been getting on social media. Love Nation has been giving all the props to Yvette Noel Shore, who is a publicist extraordinaire, mom, media mover, who's worked with icons from Prince, Mariah Carey, and Beyonce for the last 2 decades. And it's awesome because I knew the interview was one of my favorite interviews yet, and to get y'all's affirmation about it has been dope. And you guys also took on my call to action of making sure that you're showing her love on social, and she's felt it. She's like, oh my God, I'm obsessed. I love to bring y'all interviews with people who I really admire. And I think that interview was kind of like the perfect, it was a perfect merge of both story and lessons. And Yvette is such a dope woman, and y'all got to actually see and feel her heart through the mic. So all the love that the podcast has been getting, I'm gonna actually share a couple of the notes I got about that interview in particular. Okay, so somebody said, that interview with Yvette Noel Shore was the best and most emotional and most inspiring and moving interview I've ever heard. She is more than everything. Yes, she is. A bunch of y'all have been tweeting about and Instagramming about how you were crying because Yvette was basically strumming your pain with her fingers and speaking to your life. And the part that resonated with a lot of people the most was when she said grief is a thief. So yeah, keep showing her love. Keep showing this podcast love, and we'll keep bringing you the dope stuff. All right, so my rant this week is about men who take up too much space, aren't told that they take up too much space, and basically try to still shine. So what happened is the Grammys happened, right? Cardi B won the Best Rap Album of the Year, and she's the first woman to ever win it. She's worked very hard to establish a name, a career, community, awards, money, and clout. And Cardi's actually become somebody who people have started to respect more for her thoughts on politics, on culture, because beyond the, the high-pitched voice and the bright hair, she's actually really intelligent. So when she wins this award, one, I think it's crazy that it took this long for a woman to win Best Rap Album. But she wins the award, and Offset, her husband, comes on stage with her, which is not bad, right? I don't have a problem with her husband accompanying her on stage, and they've worked together before, so I get it, right? My problem was that he was in her shot the whole time, as in he was never more than like a foot away from her. So as she's speaking, as they're taking pictures, there are probably no pictures of her on that stage accepting her award without Offset in it. And my thing is, I think his constant centering of himself during Cardi's biggest moments is trash. And I need people to stop cheering him on about it. And I need people to stop cheering on people who don't respect the boundaries of others. I don't think it's romantic. So here's the thing is, if, let's say he's her manager and he did that, I'd still have a problem with this. I'd be like, yo, why is her manager standing in her literal shadow while she's getting the biggest award of her career thus far? So a bunch of folks were like, well, that's her husband, and she wanted him up there, and, it's their prerogative, that's how you show support. And I want to push back on that because her being her husband and him being her husband, Offset being Cardi's husband and being on stage was not the issue. I think the issue a lot of people had is that he is constantly doing these things where he interrupts really big moments of her career for his own purposes, right? So there was the Rolling Loud Festival where she was headlining, and it was, I think, a week after it came out that he was cheating on her. He interrupted this historic performance of hers to beg her to take him back, which that was not romantic. That is not healthy love to do that, because that is not your moment. Do that backstage. Do that in a place where she can make a decision that's not peer pressured because people are watching her as she's on the stage and you are showing up trying to do this grand gesture of love. I think it's weird. Maybe I wouldn't feel some type of way about it, about the Grammys, about him constantly being next to her, if that Rolling Loud piece hadn't happened. But here's the thing, as I was talking about that part of the Grammys and how he seems to be an attention whore, he drops a video of her giving birth to announce his album. So everybody who's like, well, that's her husband, he's supporting her, how do you say, what happens there? Like, how does that make sense for you to use a very personal and private moment to promote your album? All of that, those three acts together for me speaks to somebody who's narcissistic, who controls, and who does not realize that he's taking up too much space. And here's the thing, men aren't told that they take up too much space in our world. Women are constantly told we take up too much space. We're told that we need to be smaller than we are. We're told, hey, don't be so aggressive in a meeting. Hey, your voice should be a little bit higher so it's not showing too much authority. When men take up too much space, they are not told this. And I felt like Offset was taking up too much space. And folks was like, well, y'all just don't know what it's like to be married. I think there's a thin line between life partner and codependence partner. I don't think marriage involves constantly trying to be in every important moment of your partner. You can be a part of the moment, as in you're present as they're receiving awards. You're supporting them in the tough times. But it doesn't necessarily mean I have to stick to you body-wise like glue, to where there are no pictures that exist in your biggest moments that is just you, not you and your partner. And I just really wonder what that says about us and what that says about what we believe our rights are, right? Because here's the thing is, I know Cardi might have wanted him up there, but what if she didn't? What if she did it because she realized if she didn't have him up there, it'd be a problem? But what if she actually did want him up there and did want him right next to her because she didn't really know how to be truly celebrated by herself? I think a lot of times we're given the pressure of making sure that we're massaging our partner's egos and making sure we can give credit. We can say, this person was instrumental in my career, this person was instrumental in my life, without having them be an acute part of the celebration that's supposed to be about us. As I talked about this, people were just like, people got to mind their business. Here's the thing is, that was a cultural moment. This is not about necessarily commenting on somebody's marriage as much as commenting on somebody's cultural moment. Because when you win a Grammy, that is a huge cultural moment. When a dude, whoever he is, however he plays roles to you, is literally in your light as you are accepting this award, it is a cultural moment and we can comment about it. I'm not outraged, but I do think it's something for us to pause and see what we enable in this society that doesn't already celebrate women enough. So in the moments when we get these accolades, I think we need to really cheer on women and make sure that we have full spotlight. And again, I say that even if Cardi wanted him up there, I think he should have had the sense to be like, you know what, babe, I'm here for you, but I'm going to step 2 steps back or to the left so you can have this full moment for yourself. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's not like Cardi goes up there anytime Migos wins awards. Like, that doesn't happen. I feel like next time Migos wins an award, she needs to go up there and be pulling his locks as he's talking. But yeah, I just think people need to know when to play your role, like fall back, let people have their full moments. But I think it's a man thing. Women, think about how many rappers and musicians and actors have won awards. How many times have their wives been standing literally in their light as they accept this award? It doesn't happen that often. So, however way their love goes, that's great. But I think we ultimately need to let men know that they need to excuse themselves more often because they're so used to being given permission to take up space, even if the space is not theirs, that when it's really not theirs, they don't belong there. So I know some people would disagree with like, well, he just, she wanted him there and, that's her husband. Let's just say we will agree to disagree. And I want us to be more self-aware about the space that we take up. And I want us to also give ourselves permission to be fully celebrated without necessarily having to include other people in our moments. Congrats to Cardi. This is a dope moment for her. And I'm looking forward to seeing how her career goes, how she grows as a public figure and the influence that she starts to really wield. And honestly, I still want a Cardi B anchored news show because after her video about the government shutdown, I was like, I'd totally be here for a show about what's going on in the world that Cardi anchors. Like, I want to hear her thoughts. I want to hear what she thinks we should do because I think it'll be way more fascinating than these dude bros in these buttoned up black suits. So, but yeah, ultimately, my rant is, men, take up less space. Women, let's celebrate each other and ourselves unapologetically. So I'm spotlighting my love letter this week. So the love letter is a newsletter that I have where I talk about what I'm doing in the world, where I'm going to show up, where I spotlight Love Nation, which is y'all, those who read my work, who listen to my podcasts, who just consume my content. And the love letter, I have been a delinquent about it in the last 6 months and I hadn't really done a lot of them because I've been too busy. But I'm relaunching the love letter, okay? I really did a giveaway in there at the end of the year to kick it off to kind of get me back in the groove of sending it out. And it's essentially my way of staying connected with my audience outside of social media. Because here's the thing is, we cannot build our businesses and our work just in these walled gardens. And if Twitter decided to delete my account today, if Facebook decided to delete my account today or lock me out, if Instagram decided to just blow up, I still want to be able to reach the people who consume my work, who read my stuff, and who give me love. So the love letter is the way I do that. And in the face of what's happening in culture and what's happening in tech, understanding that we need to have ownership of our own spaces. So it's an important piece of my work, which is why I would love to have y'all make sure you subscribe to the love letter. How you do that? You go to loveletter.com, which is LUVVLETTER.com. And one of the things that I'm going to start doing in every edition of the love letter is I'm going to be sending out my recommendations of products that I'm loving. How I do spotlights on this podcast is because I am a person who just loves to talk about the things that she enjoys either using, listening to, buying, wearing. And it's just one of those things that I do naturally. And the love list will start having a buy black. The love letter will start having a buy black section because I want to make sure I'm encouraging those who support my work to also support other black businesses because I think it's really important, especially now when we constantly see brands disrespect us and show that they're really not here for us. But I make it a kind of a lifestyle choice to support black businesses because why not? If we don't do it, if we're not intentional about it, who is going to be? How do we compete in a world that doesn't cheer for us? So that's going to be a big part of the love letter moving forward. So if you sign up, go to loveletter.com. You also will get a link to my Afrobeats playlist. For those of you who don't know, Afrobeats is West African pop music. And it's what I listen to outside of 90s R&B the most. So I made an Afrobeats playlist that has 8 hours worth of songs. And if you sign up for my love letter, you get an instant link via your email that gives you access to the playlist on Apple Music and Spotify. Let me tell you, it's the jam. Somebody actually messaged me and said their daughter learned how to crawl while listening to my Afrobeats playlist. So, yeah, man, that's a spotlight. Join the Love Letter, be a huge part of the Love Nation, and I'm going to be announcing some things that I'm launching in there first. People who have subscribed to the Love Letter will have first dibs to a couple of dope things that are coming up. You don't want to miss it. So go ahead and sign up, y'all. It's loveletter.com. That's LUVVLETTER.com. Rants fam, join me in welcoming Karleen Roy to the show. Karleen, yo.
Hey, y'all.
Your bio is crazy. So I'm going to read it so people know your epicness. I actually had to cut down Karleen's bio because I was like, I can't even fit all this stuff. Karleen Roy is as extraordinary as the events that she creates. She produces bespoke events and luxury experiences of unsurpassed excellence for luminaries, trendsetters, and today's brightest stars, like some of your favorite celebrities. After graduating from Howard University, the Memphis native came to New York in 2004 armed with nothing but ambition and a dream. She quickly landed a job in the publicity department at Island Def Jam Recordings. She was recruited first by R&B artist Ne-Yo to oversee the day-to-day operations of his management company, and later by Sean Diddy Combs, who brought Karleen on as a senior executive assistant at Bad Boy Entertainment. The confidence, expertise, and international connections Karleen developed over the course of her career inspired her in 2011 to strike out on her own to form the Vanity Group. It quickly became the firm of choice of a variety of corporate clients and A-list celebrities. I'm talking like Justin Bieber, Kobe Bryant, Cardi B, DJ Khaled. Karleen and her staff of luxury lifestyle curators understand the needs of high-profile individuals and the no-excuses work ethic they expect. She is just like the person who creates the events of your dreams, and you didn't even realize you had the dream until Karleen created it. You're like, yup, that was it. She's been featured in Forbes, Vogue, InStyle, and other national publications. Her and her stellar team at the Vanity Group specialize in clients who demand the very best. Karleen brings the magic when nothing else will do. Yo, Karleen, thank you for joining me.
Of course, I was not going to miss this. I was like so looking forward to it. Like, is this still happening? Because I'm like super hyped and I've charged my phone. So let's get to it.
Let's do it.
I'm super excited. Thank you for asking me to be on the show.
Oh, I had to. Like, your work is so good. I be in Karleen's DMs like, girl, yes. As she talking about her events, I be like, yes. I just sent her random emojis and long exclamation points.
I need it. Yes, encourage me. I need it. So I look at all of it. I love it.
We see it. So what did you want to be when you were growing up?
Oh, my God. I wanted to be a hairstylist.
Really?
My grandmother was a hairstylist. She used to do, like, Tina Turner's hair, and she did everybody's hair in the neighborhood, and I wanted to be a hairstylist. And then you grow up, and like most young people, you want to be whatever you hear in school. I want to be a doctor. I want to be a lawyer. I want to be a teacher. Because for most people, those are the only careers you know or that you really see. You don't know if anything exists outside of that. So it wasn't until I graduated from college and actually lived life until I realized, what I wanted to make a career in. My dad always says, you're going to go through several jobs before you realize what job you want to make your career. So
were you ever the girl who was like doing hair in the neighborhood?
No, I was wanting to do hair when I was like 7 years old. Like, I want to be a hairstylist, doing my own hair, because my grandmother was a hairstylist, so I can't even braid. Like, whenever I have a daughter, she going to be out the game. I can maybe do, like, 2 cute ponytails, but I can't even, like, give her the fly braid. So, no, I wasn't the girl doing hair in college in the dorm room, charging $20. I stopped my wishes of being a hairstylist probably about 12 years old.
Oh, see, I can't braid either. So that was never an option for me. I don't know what it is about flat braids. So when you were in college, what was your major?
Oh, my God. So now this is where it gets good. So in high school, I decided I want to go to college and be a doctor. I want to be a dermatologist. It's about beauty. It's about making people pretty. It's about making sure your skin is flawless, all these things. So I'm thinking I'm going to school to be a pre-med major.
Same.
Silly me. Silly me. The first math and science class, I was like, oh, you got to do all this shit? Oh, no, I'm out. I'm not doing this. I'm not cut out for it. And I didn't enjoy it. And I learned, it was a pivotal moment because I learned very early in life was this is not making me happy. It sounds good to say I'm going to Howard University to be pre-med, but I actually think it's whack because I don't really want to do this. So, yeah, I was pre-med early on. And
you talking to a fellow failed pre-med major person.
Well, I think, why do you think that is? And a lot of people experience that. Is it because we don't know what other careers are out there?
It's because when we're smart, people say you should be a doctor because just because you're smart.
Yeah.
I think that's a lot of it. I know there's at least 3, 4. Yvonne is that person. There's so many of us who are failed pre-med major folks. So when you were like, nah, I'm off this, what did you switch to?
So I said, I'm not doing this. And I just did not have a major for a long time. And it actually was my senior year in college. I took a sociology class. And I was like, oh, I actually love the study of this. And then I was watching Sex in the City one day, back in the day when it was still on the air.
Yeah.
And I saw Samantha Jones. And I saw this woman. She looked powerful. She wore beautiful clothes. She was witty. She lived this super magical life in New York City. And I remember turning to my girlfriend like, oh, my God, what does this woman do on this TV show? And she said, she's a publicist. And I literally the next day went and like, okay, I want a minor in like public relations. And they were like, you're going to have to stay an extra year because you haven't like done anything with this. So I literally was a super senior. I was in college 5 years because I picked up this minor and I wanted to be an entertainment publicist when I got out of college. And that is what led me to New York and what led me to getting my job at Def Jam.
So growing up in Memphis, did you feel supported in whatever dreams that you would have?
Absolutely. I had the best parents in the world. They're polar opposites. My mom was a principal at a performing and creative arts high school. So my mom was all about the arts and exploring and dance and all these things. My father was a businessman, had a business and Black enterprise, all these things. So my dad was like, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. That's all he could focus on. But even as they were polar opposites, they just let me explore and let me do whatever I wanted to do. So I had a lot of independence as a child. I had a lot of confidence as a child just because my parents were able to just let me live and figure it out. And I wasn't afraid to just explore as a young child.
So I'm sure this came in handy when you had to move to New York in 2004.
Oh, my God. So, okay, I'm from Memphis, right? Going to Howard was traumatic enough for my parents. So I called them like, yo, so guess what? I'm moving to New York to be an unpaid intern at a record label with rappers, and I'm going to drive a U-Haul truck and go to New York. And my dad was like, you're crazy. You're going to get killed, like on Law and Order. No, Law and Order. I be watching Law and Order, SVU, all these terrible things are going to happen to you. So it was traumatic for my parents. I was just fearless. But you know what? Over time, if people are not in line, they will get in line. And now my mom is my biggest fan.
Oh, my God. And y'all have, like, group chats that you be putting on Instagram?
We have group chats. My mom loves Bitmojis. She's very hip. She knows all the slang words. So because she works in a high school, she's forever young. So she's like the mom you want to have on your side.
All right. So you started being an unpaid. How do you survive being an unpaid intern in New York City?
I don't know. I ask myself this question all the time. When I first moved to New York, I slept on my friend's couch for like 6-8 months. Slept on couches. My mom would secretly send me money in the mail, and I would survive off that. And until my credit cards got maxed all the way up, but I was just being very creative and trying not to spend a lot of money.
So what was that internship like? What you had to do?
It was amazing. To any young person out there, the best experience you can get in life, especially if you want to work in like music or entertainment, I would say is to be an intern or an assistant. Because if you are smart and if you are sharp, these are going to be relationships that last a lifetime. And these are going to be people who you're meeting on the ground up. It's going to support you forever and ever. I loved being an intern at Def Jam. I was there early. I stayed late at night. I was working in the publicity department, so it's something I went to school with. So I really enjoyed what I was doing because I studied it in school. And it's so funny, Luvvie, because the people I met then, that was maybe, 14, 15 years ago. These are people that I am still working with now to this day. They're now clients of mine. They champion me and champion the Vandy Group just because I was a good intern. So I tell people, like, don't treat your internship like it ain't shit because you're not getting paid. If you play your cards right, these people who are giving you opportunity, they're going to be rocking with you for the rest of your career.
See, I feel like this is clutch because as somebody who's gone through so many assistants, I just feel like there's something missing with people not understanding what it takes to do this job that does not seem like glory.
No, they don't. They don't understand it at all because, you know what? You have to have a mindset that fights with the status quo. Most people live life going through the status quo, going through life. Oh, if I'm not getting paid, I'm not doing it. If I can't see the gold at the end of the rainbow right in my face, I don't have enough faith to push my sleeves up and keep going. That's the breaking between people who succeed and people who just want to live a mediocre life. I never wanted to live a mediocre life. That's why I never had a problem. Like, I just want to go balls to the wall and get it.
Yo, so you went from the internship and then you started working for Diddy.
Yeah.
People
so
remember Diddy as the dude who made people go to, like, Junior Cheesecake.
Yeah, so after Def Jam, I worked for Neo on the management side. I worked at Sony Music. I worked at Violator Management, and it was at Violator that I got introduced to Puff because Chris Lighty, who has since passed away, Chris was managing Puff. And he was like, we can't afford you here because we don't have any openings right now. But my client, Puff Daddy, is looking for an assistant. So I literally happened to be right place in right time. And after rounds and rounds and rounds of interviews, I got the job.
What was the most important thing you learned in working with somebody like Diddy, who's incredibly, like, he demands excellence and demands your best?
Puff is brilliant. He is, I don't think he gets the credit for being as brilliant as he is. I would say one thing I learned from him and I'm experiencing now is he really modeled what it was to be a young Black boss. And I say that because when you think of, like, people think of a boss, you think of, like, this old white man.
Yeah.
This old white man, he sits behind a desk, he wears a suit. You can be innovative, you can be loud, you can be intense, you can be passionate, and you can still lead a team of champions who want to win. So I never thought that I was going to go into business for myself when I worked for Puff. That was never my goal. But I'm so happy that I was able to be there because he showed me, like, how to be a boss and how to lead a team. I don't think I would have got that experience or access in any place else. He's the king of that.
So then if you didn't think you were going to own your own company, what was the trigger? What made you start the Vanity Group?
That is interesting. I got to a point at Bad Boy, and I absolutely loved my job there, but I was wondering in the back of my mind, what is next? I was in a very lucky position to be there. So I'm thinking, you don't work for someone as iconic as Puff and then go work in a cubicle someplace, or you just don't go back to, like, doing some regular schmegular shit. Like, you got to really, like, boss all the way up. So when I was trying to figure out what my next move is, I was getting hit with a lot of different opportunities. A lot of people wanted to hire me. A lot of companies were coming after me, and I would be looking at these opportunities like, I don't think that's it. I don't know why, but this is not the opportunity, or this is not the door I should be going in. So while I'm doing this, Luvvie, the money that I had saved up, literally only $2,000. Wow. What was I thinking? I wasn't thinking. The little money that I had, like, saved up after I resigned from my job, I was like, I need to start doing something so that I can live. And the world and God is so funny. At that very moment, people started hitting me to do things for them. Hey, I'm a random artist. I want to do a party tomorrow in Paris. Or it's the Grammys and I want to do a red carpet event tomorrow. Or I'm stuck in Saint-Tropez and I need to get a helicopter to Ibiza in 2 seconds. So after like a year or two of that, it dawned on me like, this is a business. And that actually was the birth of what Vanity Group is now.
So wait,
it all happened very organically.
You getting these very, these crazy requests, right?
Yeah.
What made people know you could deliver those?
I had the blueprint because I worked for Mr. Combs. He's known as the hardest working man in show business. And it's like, yo, if this girl can work for him and excel at her job and do it so well for so long, and she has the reputation of getting shit done, my reputation just started to precede me in a very positive way. So, you know, we work in a business where it's all about referrals and those who know, you know, like the people on the inside know, like, yo, this is the person you need for X, Y, and Z. So just my community and network, back to the interns and every other job I had, my network just started to expand, and I became known as this girl who could get shit done under miraculous pressure and succeed at it.
You're basically the Olivia Pope of events.
100%.
Yo.
100%. 100%. I tell people the Vanity Group is not a traditional event company by any means. It's not traditional for the people that we work with. It's not traditional for the requests we get. And it's not traditional because we're doing everything at such a fast pace. Like most companies, they're probably doing these projects with like a 6-month lead time. We're doing it in 6 days.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like you're planning like full-scale events in 6 days.
Full scale, light, camera, action, huge budget, huge request in 6 days. And we get it done. And I have to give credit to myself because it's just a mindset of like, we can do this. We can get this done. We're just going to stay up a little later. We're just going to get in a little bit earlier. You just have to want to win and want to work hard.
I love that you just said, I want to give credit to myself. I love that. I love that.
To.
Oh, my goodness.
Did you see Snoop's acceptance speech when he got his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame?
No.
Luvvie, you have to see it. It is so iconic. He's like, I want to thank me for believing in me.
Yes.
I want to thank me for not giving up when I thought shit was about to be fucked up. I want to thank me for having faith. It's like when you are a business owner, you are the vision and the heartbeat of the company. If I was to give up, if I thought a project was too hard or I thought we couldn't do it, that's a trickle-down effect to my team members. So I have to be able to lead and lead with confidence so that we can get the job done.
That's real. That's real. The top is what matters. And your brand is synonymous with excellence, imagination, and wonder. Like,
I love that. Luvvie, can you be a secret copywriter for me? Your vocabulary is so amazing.
Carla, anytime you need. But you don't need me. You have this amazing team. They just be coming up with stuff. And your work. So, in case y'all don't know, Karleen and the Vanity Group planned Cardi B's baby shower. When I tell you, I literally was watching Insta stories as this thing was going down, like, how did she just get a full train car inside a building? Can you tell? What is your secret to these grand
Oh my
things?
God. What is my secret? I have a big imagination. I think it's a gift and a curse because it's so big that I'm not able to turn it down or turn it off because I'm a dreamer and I'm a natural dreamer. So I'm curious and always curious to know how things can get done. So if you're a dreamer and you can partner with great artisans or great fabricators or great builders to, again, push them to get it done, things will get done. I think a lot of shit would get done in people's lives if they just were less afraid to push it. Yeah, it would sound cute, like, oh, yeah, we should do a subway. She is from the Bronx. You could have that idea go in one ear and out the other, but I was like, no, really, how can we get someone to build it? And where was her stop that she came off of every day coming to and from just her daily life? Let's keep digging, let's keep digging, let's keep digging.
Do you ever hear no?
No from who? The client?
In general.
We don't get a lot of no's as far as who we work with at the Vandy Group because it's a blessing that we get to work with people who completely trust us and give us free reign to do whatever. I don't know if we were working with big brands who have a lot of tape to go through, if we would have the same luxury and freedom. So from an artistic and creative standpoint, from the work you see with us, we're able to do what we want. That's why I love what the Vandy Group is, because we're blessed to just like do what we want and our clients show up and love us. So we don't hear no in that respect, but in my day-to-day life as a business owner and operations, I may not hear no a lot, but do get roadblocks a lot. And it's like, okay, how do we get past this roadblock from a business operation standpoint? And I think that's naturally what comes with when you are growing a business.
I think a lot of people see the glitz and the glamour behind your work.
God.
They see you doing Rick Ross's birthday party.
Yes.
What is the biggest misconception folks have about the work that you do?
I think it's exactly what you just said. I think people, I don't even think I know. People think that my life is hanging out with artists and celebrities all day and we show up and it's kicks and giggles and we're on to the next. I don't know if people really understand that, yes, that is what we're doing, but when the lights go down at the event, we still have to come back to the office and we still have to work. I have to have several conversations with our HR and operations person to figure out X, Y, and Z and how can I do better at developing my employees. I just hired a finance director because I was getting overwhelmed with just paying bills all day. And I stopped myself and I had to have a come to Jesus with myself and say, Karleen, you didn't start the Vanity Group to become the company controller. You need to pay someone to do that. So now I have to be okay with letting that money go to pay someone to relieve me so that I can actually create, because I can't create and I can't produce from the HR, the bookkeeper, the finance director, and the controller. So I don't think people understand that I still am running a business and developing a team all while doing the sexy shit. And that is a lot of times why I go ghost on Instagram. I'm trying to do better at posting more consistently, but it's like, oh shit, I'm like knee deep in something else and like neglecting to just like post and keep up, because it is very difficult running a business. I think I even underestimated it myself.
What do you think is the hardest part about running a business?
Being a boss.
Yes. Yes.
It is. It's very difficult. And, you know, we see things on Instagram, boss life, boss babe, but it is very difficult. I can control a lot of things, but I cannot control people's behavior. I can't control people's mindset. I can try to lead them. I can try to encourage them and give them the resources. But ultimately, people make their own decisions. And sometimes their decisions will impact you and impact your business. So being a boss has been a very difficult position for me to get in. I make tons of mistakes, and as hard as the mistakes are in the moment, they are so awesome because I always say, how else would I learn not to do this if I never experienced this? So not to be cliche, but like every loss is a win because now you know I will never do that shit ever again, or this is a better way to do X, Y, and Z. I want to give a shout out to Malik because she has been a great sister. I always say she's my sister in business because she's someone that I can call on and bounce ideas off of. She's really great with giving me resources and things to read just so I can be sharper. And it's almost like she's like, I walked down this road before, so let me tell you what not to do so that you don't make these mistakes. But yeah, being a boss is very, very difficult. It's difficult.
I call my
But
lead too.
I embrace it. I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world.
I mean, if your boss is over here wearing the dopest sweatsuits and sneakers, it makes going to work a little bit easier because you can show up as yourself.
That's what I'm saying. Luvvie, just move to New York and just come here just like once a week. I tell them that, like, yes, I am a maniac of a boss. I am the first to say that, but it's like, what better way to spend your days and spend your hours at such a unique organization where you can grow, where you can be creative, where you can feel like yourself. We can talk and slang. We can understand each other and still produce excellence. I think it's nothing better.
Yeah, I think being a young Black woman who runs a pretty powerful company, you essentially are showing the example, and you crafted a business out of something you didn't see. I would say, like, have you ever wanted to be like, you know what, I'm in the wrong place, or have you ever wanted to quit in the middle of something?
I have. Every day I wonder, how did I get here? Like, this was never the plan, or I didn't even see it when I originally thought it in my head. So I always think like, oh God, how did I get here? But I never feel like, should I stop? I get frustrated a lot with the operations of things. And it's not so much how I stop. I'm always thinking strategically, like, what's my next move or what's my next play so that I can save this or so that I can get over this hurdle. I spend a lot of time thinking and plotting.
So adulthood is hard, right?
Oh my God. I don't know what we were thinking when you're like in college. Like, I can't wait to get out of school. Whenever I sit down with interns, they're like, I can't wait to graduate and get a real job and work. I'm like, girl, this is the time where you should be living your best life, spending your parents' money, getting drunk, dancing with your girlfriends. Like, there is no reason to be excited to be a grown-up. It sucks, but I tell you, Luvvie, I feel the most confident that I've ever felt in my life now just because I'm a bit wiser and sharper. I love growing up and just always learning about yourself.
I mean, it also helps that you're literally doing the thing that you have the gift for.
Like, it's amazing. It's amazing.
It's actually kind of crazy. I'm honestly always inspired just by watching your work because it shows that you can be an adult who can play and work.
You can play and work. If you play your cards right, again, if you're smart, and the same thing, Luvvie, you created a career and a brand around doing something that you love and is based off of you. I think it's nothing better in the world. Like, it's just, and more people could have that life if they were unafraid.
So when you are not in a room, what do you want people to be saying about you?
Oh, I love that. When I'm not in the room and what people are saying about me, I hope they are saying that she is a leader. I hope people are saying that they respect me for the work that I'm doing. We had a conversation in the office about who wants to be famous. And I was like, I don't know about wanting to be famous, but I do want to be known for doing great quality work, and hopefully this work turns into a legacy that people would remember that I had a hand in.
I mean, listen.
I think it's nothing worse than like leaving the world and no one knows you were here. People are going to know you were here because you wrote a book that's going to live forever. You know, like, I want to, hopefully, whatever I'm doing, that I'm creating some
I'm ready
sort
for you
of
to write a
legacy.
book, but that's separate.
Right, but you know, like, it's you're a writer, you're a speaker, you're using your mind. Like, that's going to live for forever, and that's part of your legacy. So I'm hoping that whatever we are doing over here, and sometimes in a moment we don't even know what it is, that it's creating a legacy.
Yeah, and I think it will. Because, again, like, some of your work is the type that even though it might be, it's funny, your work is temporary but permanent at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, you create memories for people, even though the car doesn't exist anymore that you got built, you built the memory for it. Like, how do you build your own memories as you're doing somebody else's, as you're making other people's dreams come true? How are you making yours outside of work?
I love that question, Luvvie. Is this off the dome or you have notes?
A lot of them are off the dome. It's just, I'm like, let's see where this conversation takes us.
You're right. One thing about events that I don't like is that you said it's temporary. Like, it happens and then it goes away. That's why I started to go to school for design, because, like, how can I make this live forever? But I think the legacy or what I'm enjoying about doing the event is the relationships that I am developing, the life lessons that I am learning in that moment for whatever we're doing, whatever the challenge is, whatever the hurdle that we are jumping over. Everything is a learning experience for me. We did an event for Quavo not too long ago, and I was like, oh, I've become a Broadway producer, and I didn't even know it. So I'm never too old to learn, and it's like, it's no job that's like too big or too small that you can't learn from.
So what are your dreams?
What are my dreams? My dream is that the Vandy Group continues to grow. We hear this word all the time, scale, scale, scale. Are you trying to scale your business? Are you trying to scale your business? I'm like, we're not in the season of scaling, but we are in the season of growth. And so just developing awesome workers. Everybody who works for me are young Black women, and that is by design. I love being able to...
First of all, come on, okay? Thank you for that.
Yes. And that is by design. I don't know any other company. I think very little companies exist where you have Black leaders and a Black team, and you're able to do awesome, dope things. So I love just being able to give an opportunity to other young ladies who look like me, because maybe this type of company didn't exist when I was coming in the business. So I want to be able to be a face and be a resource of opportunity for young Black girls who want to get their foot in the door and do events like this. Another dream of mine, Luvvie, I'm hoping that the Vandy Group grows so big and we can have 1 million people working here so that I can enjoy life a little more. You know, what they always say, this work-life balance. I have work-life balance because I'm the boss, which means I can come and go as I please and do what I want. But when we get to a place where we have a bigger team where I can really stop and smell the roses, that would be awesome.
Honestly, I feel like that is when we have really built things that can run without us being there day to day.
Yes.
We all
I
got
don't
to
need
work
to
on
be
it.
checking my email if I'm on vacation. Why am I checking my email about work? I want to be able to completely let go. I'm not there yet, but that would be the dream, where I can just pop in and make sure that shit is getting done and then like go back to wherever I need to go back. That would be the dream.
That is when you are chairwoman of the Vanity Group.
Okay. And I am. I'm the chairwoman, but also we are a small company, so I still need to be involved, and my presence and energy and vision needs to be felt. But hopefully one day I can be in the Hamptons drinking wine and looking out over the sunset. That would be the dream.
Look, living your best life, okay? Your
Living
best
my, I'm trying to be
bougie
what
black
Luvvie
life.
calls. Yes, all of that. That would be the goal.
I still want to call out the fact that you have this company that is just all black women. Because
Yeah.
it kills me whenever I see black women at the top of a company and most of the people who work for them are not black. I'm always
Oh
like,
no,
how, girl, how? Are you, what?
no. This is by design. Like I specifically like this is I'm trying to empower the next generation. It would be remiss of me to not give an opportunity or give the knowledge or the gems to the next generation of girls that look like me. And you maybe have heard this before when you hear people talk about black business, like, that's a black business. You know how they do. I don't want that to be the connotation of my company, and I don't want that to be the connotation of any black company. Why can't our businesses when you think of black business, you think of success.
Yep.
That is why I'm trying to raise the next generation of, I tell the girls in my office, y'all should be mini executives. Whatever you're over right now, you should be the leader of that shit and you should own it.
Yes.
That is what I'm trying to grow here in spirit.
And I think y'all actually are doing it because people already know if the Vanity Group is behind it, listen, it's gonna be crazy. Because I went to my Leaks retreat last year and I'm coming back this year.
Me too.
Are we gonna have a good time in Mexico?
Yes.
And just the small details. And I was just like, it speaks so highly of who you are. Type A personality, of course.
Mm-hmm,
Type A. But what does it take to work for you? Because I know you're also hiring. You're always hiring.
I'm always hiring. What does it take to work for me? You must be smart. Common sense. I don't care if you got all the straight A's in school, if you were in all the AP classes. Like, I'm looking for people who are intelligent and confident, and you'd be surprised how many people are not. So I'm looking for people who are intelligent and smart. That's first and foremost. I also am looking for people who have the entrepreneurial mindset, not someone who's another business owner coming to work for me. That won't work. But entrepreneurial in spirit, which means they're taking ownership of what they're doing and taking ownership of the company they work for. Because when you take ownership of something, you're working a bit more passionately because you're understanding the bigger picture. I don't know if you have that same feeling and emotion at work. If you're working for a huge corporation, I'm making this a Time Inc. or a Coca-Cola or a Clorox, the company feels so vast that maybe you don't really take pride in what you're doing because you don't see the results of it. So I'm always looking for people who have an entrepreneurial mindset because I feel like those employees have a deeper heart and they work a little harder.
Dope. And y'all should follow Karleen's Instagram because she be dropping in there when she's hiring. But listen, don't half step.
Yes.
Like I said on your Insta Live, I was like, you got to be unfuckwittable to work with Karleen. Like, don't half step. Don't embarrass yourself. Okay?
Don't do it.
I'm trying to tell these
Don't
people.
do it. And we need to get like some shirts made that says that. But that goes back to being confident about the fucking work that you do. We should feel like nobody can do it better.
That's it. So, as you're doing all of this world dominating and running everybody's events, what are you doing to take care of yourself?
Oh, my God. I just started meditating, and it actually is so awesome. So, Luvvie, I used to wake up in the mornings, and I would be filled with so much stress. I don't know if you've ever felt like this. Like, I would wake up and instantly have a jolt of feeling like anxious or feeling like intense. And I felt like I was setting up my day for failure because I was already like waking up in like this hasty rush. So waking up and being still has helped me tremendously. And I've just started this maybe in December. I was very late to just waking up and sitting and meditating and not grabbing my phone and not just rushing because it was just putting me in a very intense mindset all day. And I'm high off life just in general. I can't be high off life and intense. It's just,
Yeah.
awful. Like, it's just like, this girl is like a beast 24/7. So that has helped me, turning myself off. I just discovered Do Not Disturb
Oh,
on your phone.
yeah.
Did you know about this?
Yes. Yes.
I was so late to the game. I now have Do Not Disturb on my phone in the evenings, because that's one way that I can also turn off. And, I have a great spiritual network, and I try to, like, work out. I don't work out enough, but I try to work out. But I learned the hard way that I had to carve out time and space for myself.
After these great events, how do you decompress, though? Do you go to the spa?
Oh,
Do
my
you just
God.
disappear?
We call it event coma. Like, the day after we finish the event, no one talks because everyone's dead. Like, literally in the bed, like, you've given your all. Like, literally, the day after the event, I stay at home or wherever city we're in, and I, like, lay in the hotel and just, like, rest my legs, because we're literally up. I'm making this up. If we're loading in at 6 a.m. in the morning, the party's not over till 4, 5 in the morning. Like, we've been up all day. So it takes me a good 3 days to recover. It's like the worst life hangover that just does not go away. So I really have to turn off after events.
And you're traveling a lot. So what do you do to make sure your skin is not getting dry?
I travel with all these oils. So when I get on an airplane, I don't wear makeup. I put on oils on my face, and I'm sitting there looking like I just dropped my face in Vaseline. I don't care.
Yes.
I have no shame. Those people on the airplane do not know me, okay? So I'm sitting there in oils. My sister bought me, decompression socks and all these things. So, and drinking water, people always joke, like, I'm just trying to grow out my edges and drink water and have my skin glow. But if you want all those things, you actually have to put forth the effort to do it. So I do my part in it.
And you got lush edges, so clearly it's working. Karleen got some good edges.
Good old oil.
All the oils.
I love an oil.
I've been traveling with face masks now. And
really?
Yeah. Like, absolutely. If I'm in my hotel, if I have a shoot the next day or something like that, I just use one of those sachet of. I've been using one called Ethiopian honey. Oh, girl, get your face back. Yes.
I've never heard. I've literally just wrote this down on a notebook.
Yes, like, you need it because when you're in a hotel room, you can carry it with you. It's not going to make your luggage heavy. And you slather it on the day before an event for 15 minutes, rinse it off, and your face is like, praise God. In fact, I'm going to send you some.
Please.
I'm going to send you some. And
what is that?
It's literally, I'm going to send you a bunch of the packets because you just put it in your suitcase. You throw it in your bag. Use it when you get to your hotel room for 10 minutes while you're working. Rinse off your face.
Oh,
your face
I need that.
Oh, yeah, I got you.
I need that. Yeah, I'm all about an oil. I'm all about a cocoa butter. I'm all about all that. And you know what? The older I'm getting, the more drier, just like your skin naturally gets. So even if I'm sitting in the house and I'm on the couch watching Law and Order, I have a mask on my face, oil. I'm like massaging my feet, like I'm trying to get all that in. Because you know what? If we live such a fast life, we'll just be going, and never stop. You're like, oh, I should moisturize.
Look, I'm telling you, we can't be out here with the dry faces. People taking too many pictures of us.
No.
I was like, can't be ashy.
Black don't crack.
And honestly, all this plane that we be on, it actually does age us. So.
Yes, it does. It does. And I don't enjoy traveling as much as I used to. And I feel like I'm on a plane every other week because it is draining and it takes a toll on your body. So any girls, young women who are out there and starting to like pick up their travel game, like make sure that you are preparing yourself for that so that you're keeping up your best health and wellness.
So what are your 3 travel must-haves?
3 travel must-haves. I always keep some sort of mister spray. I get all different type of brands. I don't have a favorite one, but you can get them from like Sephora or Target or Mario Badescu. But some sort of like rose water spray or spray to wake up your face after you land. Because you know when you land, your face just feels so tight. So that definitely helps, like, bring your face back to life. I also, when I travel, I put a lip mask on my face, and I can't even remember the brand.
Laneige.
I can't remember the brand.
Is it Laneige? Is it like a pink?
What is it?
It's like in a pink. It's like a little pink oval container.
And now I'm gonna have to look because my bag is like clear across the room. But I got it from Ulta, and it is life changing for me. And I also travel with an eye mask so that I can really go to sleep. I do not believe in working on airplanes.
Same.
So I'm never like, what's the Wi-Fi? And when people be breaking out their computers, working on budgets and all that, because I know the moment I hit the ground, wherever I'm going to be on and popping. So that being on the airplane is my time to relax. I don't work on airplanes.
Agreed. I use that time to nap.
Me too. Or read. If I
read.
Can't go to sleep.
Oh, no,
yeah.
I nap.
Yeah, I'll definitely keep eye mask, because if you have an eye mask on, no one is going to talk to you. You can be asleep and someone's still going to tap you on the shoulder, but an eye mask means do not disturb.
Do not. It's the plain version of do not disturb.
Yes, completely.
Yo, Karleen, thank you so much for coming on Rants and dropping some of these gems on people's.
It was such an honor to be here. I love your work, Luvvie, and I love the podcast with Lisa Price. I listened to it. She has such a dynamic story. I didn't even know about the writing and the writing history and all that. So every time I listen to your podcast, I'm like learning something new about someone else. So I'm just happy that you even asked me to be on. It's an honor. So
this podcast is an excuse to get people who I love on the phone for 45 minutes, okay?
I'm with it.
It's a great excuse for it. So thank you so much. I think this is going to be amazing. And folks, follow Karleen Roy on Instagram. I'll let people know about TVG's Instagram and all that good stuff. And I'll probably see you next week at all the events that's happening around Oscars.
Yes, you will probably bump into me, I'm sure, in the next 2 weeks in some place with all these red carpet events happening. I'm sure we'll see each other.
I'll be like, Karleen, I see you out here working hard.
You'll see me running around looking like a maniac.
Making the work happen. You are much appreciated.
Okay. I'm so happy for this, and I can't wait to hear this whenever it goes live.
All right, man. Thanks, boo. Talk to you later.
Awesome. Bye, Luvvie. Thank you. Bye.
Yo, shout out to Karleen Roy for joining me. She is epic. And y'all, follow her on social media. She's at Karleen Roy on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. That's KarleenRoy. Follow her company at The Vanity Group on Instagram. That is at TheVanitygroup. They do epic stuff. They show behind the scenes of their work, and it's just really good to follow them. Much love to Chicago Recording Company for partnering with me on this. Subscribe to Rants and Randomness if you're not already on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, wherever you prefer to get it. And please rate it. And if you leave a comment, you just might be featured on the show. Follow the podcast on social media. On Twitter, we're at Rants Randomness, no and. On Instagram, Rants and Randomness. And if you want to have any type of questions or feedback to me or want to show some love, you can email me at loveyrants@gmail.com. As always, follow me on social. I'm at Luvvie everywhere. That's Luvvie. See you on the next episode.